All right, Justin is asking, theoretical number two, if you were 85% done with a house that has an ARV of 600 to 630, and you were 305 into it, including the mortgage, but you still 10 to 15 short of finishing the punch list for the spring-summer sale, do you see a reason why you would not keep the house long-term and attempt to sell, dude, not sell, 12 to 24 months later, or refi again for 100K, cash out when other properties in your portfolio sell, and you pay off all the current mortgages? Yep, so you're asking a bunch of different questions. Let's break them down. Let's start from the bottom. I think that's the best place to start. Do you refi, pull out 100K? No, okay, so bottom question is, do you pay off this property when you sell other properties? If you want to keep it in your, like if you want to live there, because I know in your particular case you're living there. If you want to keep it, then I don't think you probably want to bother paying it off if you have a reasonable interest rate loan on it. I don't know if you want to pull more money out, because for primary residence, my personal perspectives on primary residence is they can be really, really good investments. I know, because I have well over $1 million in equity in my last two primary residences. But I don't think treating them as an investment is the wisest thing to do, because I think that kind of gets your mind a little messed up, in my opinion. But, so if you want to keep it for primary residence and you have a reasonable loan on it, I think I would probably take the money from selling the other properties and do something that's a more active investment like that, if I were doing it. If you're dead set on selling it, I would say you probably want to sell, sooner instead of later. I think you'd want to try to hit the market in spring to summer of this year because of different reasons. Now, I don't know where your house is in terms of like market saturation, how many houses are for sale in that area, and if your house price point wise is fairly competitive. If you're in a regular market where other houses are selling for the 650, 600, 575 to 650 range, and your house fits in really well in that market, then your risk long term is not as high as your risk would be if you're in a 600 to 700K house, but you're more rural or more speculative. So just long term extrapolate that out on that specifically. The next aspect of it is what's going to happen to the high-end market long term, and the answer is I don't really know. But if interest rates go up and if there's more uncertainty in the long-term economy, then that's going to affect affordability. And if affordability is going down a little bit, it's going to have a positive effect on inventory. In other words, inventory is going to go up a little bit. Now the question is, there's a lot of pent-up supply. Now there's a lot of pent-up demand from people wanting to buy stuff that can't. There's not a lot of pent-up supply, so there is not a lot of excess inventory. So the question is, what's going to happen to this demand if inventory goes up a little bit? Stuff's going to slow down. Stuff has to slow down. Is it going to slow down drastically and cause a crash? I don't think so. But is it going to be more difficult to sell stuff in the 600, 700, 800K range? I'll be honest, we're not looking at stuff right now. If something falls in our lap and we get a good deal, or we can buy it for that and sell it for that, then yeah, we'll absolutely do it. But we're turning down deals that are ARVs of 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, because I don't particularly like them personally. If you're dead set on selling it, I would say hit the spring and hit the summer market this year. If you're dead set on keeping it, if you have a reasonable loan, take the money from selling other stuff and do something that's an active investment with it. If you just want absolute security for retirement for your parents or for whatever other situation it is, then you're not going to maximize your money by paying off any kind of loan that's on it. But if the peace of mind is more valuable than the opportunity cost of doing an active investment, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a lot of people don't really think about that. They think, well, how can I maximize my money? Like, I have a lot of fun expenses, right? It's fun. But that's because we're really good at making money and buying stuff. If that changes, then we can cut out some expenses. But you got to factor lifestyle in a little bit. It doesn't mean you're reckless or stupid, but you got to factor what you actually want to do with your time.